It's November 10th. I'm heading out to set up my game camera again. We brought it in for about a week. The last time we checked it for pictures, had about 2 to 3 dozen pictures of deer. Nice, well, it looks like an 8-point buck. It might be a 9-point. It's kind of tough to tell, but he's still hanging out. So I'm going to set the game camera up in the woods out back behind our house here to see if he's still hanging around. See if he's made it through hunting season so far. I've got the puppy with me. As you can see, she's feeling a lot better. She broke her leg about a month and a half ago, one of her front legs. But she's completely healed up and all over the place already. Didn't take very long. We've got some snow on the way. It sounds like we were supposed to get some at the end of last week. And we got just a little bit of a dusting. It mainly stayed rain. This next storm, which is supposed to move in starting tomorrow afternoon, is supposed to be a bit colder. So we should see, because right now they're saying like 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches of snow. But they're worried a little bit about more mixing with sleet and freezing rain. More snow as you head up into the mountains and more just plain rain down towards the coast. And we're kind of in that middle zone that we typically see here in central Maine during the early part of the winter, and again during the end of the winter we get these kind of storms a lot where they tend to mix with sleet and freezing rain. This one's supposed to start as snow showers tomorrow afternoon and then pick up in intensity overnight and flip to sleet and freezing rain for the first part of Tuesday, and then as cold air rushes back in, it's supposed to crash back to snow again before it ends Tuesday afternoon and evening. So it all depends on how quickly that changeover happens as to how much snow we're going to end up with. But my guess is we'll get probably 2 inches or so of like a snow-sleet mixture. There, so I've had it set up in this spot before. This is one of the spots I got a picture of that 8-point buck. He walked right by the camera 2 days after I had it set up. It was probably 2 weeks ago when that happened, so we'll see what happens here. It's not the best spot. I like to put my camera facing towards the north because what that does is it assures that the sun is behind the camera so you get a better picture. But this right here, this spot, I'm facing kind of southeast here, so a lot of times the picture is a little bit blurred out by the sunlight. You still get really good pictures, but not quite as good as if the sun was behind the camera. So we'll see what happens. The convenient thing about this spot right here is it's right behind the house. It takes me 2 minutes to get down here to check it, so I can come down here and check it pretty often. And there's the camera right there, all set up. I don't know if you recognize this spot. It's facing that way right there. There's kind of a trail, a game trail that walks right through here. We'll see what we get. One thing's for sure, you're not getting any pictures if the camera's sitting inside, so better to have it out here. And there's Joplin. Our Christmas trees are looking pretty good. I would say the average height for them now is about 4 to 5 feet. Over here, some of these are younger, so they're a bit smaller. Except for that one right there. For some reason, that one just grew like crazy. That one's closer to 6 feet plus. Better nutrients in the soil there, I would say. So earlier today, I noticed my anemometer from my weather station was acting kind of funny. It was spinning like you see now, and then it would just all of a sudden lock up, kind of freeze up. Now, I've had this weather station for about 8 years now, and it was the original anemometer that I had with it. Never had any issues with it at all. It's been great. It's a Davis Vantage Pro 2 with this anemometer transmitter kit, so I can have it separate. Hey, Joplin. She's trying to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, so I noticed it was acting up, so I went up there and did a little investigation, and turns out that there's some corrosion that got in the bearings. So luckily I had a spare anemometer when I got a new Maine part of the weather station. It came with another anemometer, so I just put the new one up today, and it's working great. I'm thinking the old one was slowly getting worse, and I just noticed it today, so we should have some good wind readings. I cleaned it. I put this new one, brand new anemometer up. I cleaned the transmitter box right there, the solar powered transmitter box. Put new batteries in, so we should be ready for winter. Joplin, you got a buddy here. Hey guys. Hey. This right here is the main part of the weather station. Records temperature and humidity, dew point, and rainfall. I got it all cleaned up, new batteries, everything's ready to go for winter, so should be in good shape. We got the bees ready for the colder weather as well. We usually just put a couple bales of hay along this side here to block the worst of the wind. The hive is set kind of tucked in this big white pine tree, this bushy white pine tree right here, so that helps to block a lot of the wind as well. This year I tried something a little different. That new box on the top there that isn't painted, I took all of the inserts out of that they usually build their comb in. They weren't using it. And I put a screen on the bottom and then filled it with pine shavings, because what we've noticed over the past years is the difference in temperature between the bees, the warmth that the bees create, and the cold air outside during the coldest days in the middle of the winter causes condensation to form. The warm air from them rises and it condenses on the underside of the lid, and then it drips down on them, and that seems to be what's been giving us issues with keeping the bees through the winter over the past few years. So we saw this trick somewhere. It was pretty simple. You just put the screen and then fill it with shavings, and the idea is that that condensation will continue to form like it does. There's no way to avoid that, but hopefully the pine shavings being nice and dry will absorb most, if not all, of that condensation, which will prevent it from dripping back down on them. So we'll see. It definitely won't hurt anything to give it a shot. Got a little bit of oak firewood drying here from a tree that we cut. It's not going to be ready this year, but it'll be some wood for next year. The majority of our wood's up here, right up along the back side of the garage. And this is all the stuff that's ready for this year. We've actually been burning pretty good already. We were 18 degrees, not this morning, but yesterday morning. And the past few days have been getting no warmer than the upper 20s to low 30s. You can see right here, we've got all of our wood piled up against the back of the garage. It's 5 rows deep. I think the scene's going to look pretty different here in a couple days after tomorrow night and Tuesday. Everything should be coated in white. We'll see how much we get. I'll try to get some video. I'm hoping that some snow showers tomorrow afternoon at the onset during daylight hours so I can be out. Oh yeah, the chickens too. Chickens are ready. We cleaned them out a couple weeks ago, cleaned the coop for the last time, probably before the winter. Garden, everything. I think in one of my last videos I showed us cleaning out the rest of the garden. So everything's buttoned up and ready to go.